Oh my God.
We gave you streaming, or we gave you streamings of entertainment. So what do you
Yes,
think,
yes.
Yoko?
Today is, well, why Tessa is on top, why Tessa start. Yeah, of course we take a term, but today is one of the Tessa's expertise topic,
No, it's,
right?
actually,
I think you know what?
hi,
You're
Tanya.
really good
I have
at
to
it,
bring
today's
Tanya on
topic.
later. I have to bring Tanya on a little later. I want
Oh
to
yeah?
ask
Oh,
her a
is she
question.
coming too?
She's here, not now, but a little later I'll bring her on. I'll
Okay,
ask her.
okay.
Yeah,
So what's the
you're
topic
saying it's
today?
my expertise,
Yes.
but you know, when you say pay yourself first, it doesn't always have to be money.
Oh, say the topic. Pay yourself first.
It doesn't
Right?
have to always be money.
Yes, you're so right. Because when I kind of suggest, what do you think? Pay yourself first. I thought about money. I thought about, oh, Tessa's going to give us good numbers, financial advice,
No.
self-care. But Tessa just like, no, we get to tweak. We get to do it self-care way. And we got to do our own top way.
Yes.
And what she suggested was so interesting. I asked so many questions, right? When we have a meetings.
Yeah.
When we had a
go
meeting.
on and on and on. The meeting gets longer because of you.
An hour and a half.
I know. She goes to me, Tessa, we're having a half an hour meeting, right? I said, sure. An hour and a half later, she said, oh my God, we have to go cook dinner. And off she goes.
Yeah, because what you give a tweak about the topic was so interesting. So you guys, maybe you can get the pens and paper. Of course, pen has to be blue.
It has to be blue.
Write it down, because Tessa and I will gonna give a great idea and share something you can do it later, right? Not like everywhere else. Like Tessa and our own ways. We're gonna give a really love tweak to
You see,
Self-Care Sunday show.
When people hear self-care, a lot, my brothers tell me, one brother said, I listen to self-care on Monday morning going to work. And he said,
really?
I thought it was only about women and all of that. I said, no. I said, self-care is a complete thing. Self-care takes you from your head to your toe.
That's true.
But so even you're taking self-care from your head to your toe, it's going to affect you in all aspects of your life. Right? It cannot only just be the body. The body, the mind needs to be there. The spirit needs to be elevated. And everything has to be going. Like self-care is self-care. So when you said to me, I want you to talk about pay yourself first, I'm thinking, no, yes, but...
Yes.
Yes, but pay yourself first. And then as soon as you said that, Colleen, I haven't seen her this morning, Colleen, who always comes on the show, sends me, we had a talk, and she calls me and she says, you're in my head all the time. I said, okay. And then she said to me, you're so much in my head that after our conversation, I went and I bought myself a brand new iPhone.
Really?
Pay yourself first.
I
didn't tell her to buy an iPhone. We didn't talk about it, but the conversation was like, you are important too. Like Colleen has her children, her grandchildren around all the time. And when I talk to Colleen, it's always about family. And I don't know what I said to her, but she had to inform me that she bought herself a brand new cell phone. And pay yourself first. So this is what I mean, ladies. Why is it that, or men, you have to take somebody's old phone? Why? Tell me why. What it is you're doing in your life that you're not worthy to go purchase a phone and pay for it with the money you saved to buy it? Come on, let's talk about that.
This is so important. Very, very
Pay
important.
yourself first, meaning putting yourself at the top of the line. It doesn't mean you pay yourself first. It's always about money. Pay yourself first by getting enough sleep. But this time is doing something for yourself you prefer to have, or you prefer to do for you.
Yes.
And you prefer to realize, I am worthy of that. And that goes, nowadays, men are falling in the same trap, because a lot of men are stay-at-home dads. They're like EJ, who came on, he must disappear, he doesn't stay long anywhere. EJ,
Let me
tells
just find.
you,
I mean, he might be still
I
here
have
though.
to stay with my daughter,
Oh, no.
my grandbaby, right? So EJ said to me, "Oh, I cannot do a live with you that day because I have to stay with the baby," which is fine. So what I'm saying is that men are very much involved in the growing up of the family and taking care of the children. You see what I mean? My son-in-law, Kylie's dad, does all kinds of stuff with her, which my husband didn't do much with. He looked at them and thought that he was going to break them with his hands, but that was an excuse from old. So men too have to put themselves in the position that pay yourself first means making sure you are healthy. How do you do that?
How
How
do
do you
you
do
do
that?
that?
Somebody, who was I watching? I was reading something and the man says, I do yoga. You know, yoga is predominantly a feminine thing.
I
But
know.
this,
Yes, that's true. I'm sorry to cut you off.
no, go
That's so
ahead,
true because when 15 years ago, I signed up like local class, yoga class for 10 weeks, right? And then I told my husband, let's go do yoga. He said, okay, all right, come on. And then when we get there are 20 women, and my husband was the only one.
There you go. There you
Yeah.
go.
And then he said, I want to go there early. I just like, why? Because I don't want to be at the back because I feel so uncomfortable. And women think maybe they're going to feel uncomfortable. The man just in the behind. So we always went early and we at the first line, first in front, very in front, right? Front.
Yes.
And then it's like, through 10 weeks, my husband was the only guy.
Yes.
Like, because like it's, and then he talked about his co-worker friends, they made fun of him. But my husband said that was a great 10 weeks
It
I ever
was.
had.
There you go. Because so when I'm reading this, then I remember Russell Simmons, not the one that danced, the other one, the black one. And he does yoga. And he said, I went to do yoga thinking I would meet girls. And then he said, then I went to exercise. So now he's so deep in it, meditation and yoga, he writes about it. So paying yourself first is not always about money. Men are more involved in family and raising up the children nowadays. So this thing affects men because what I notice is after a certain time, men get stiffer than women. And
that's true. I shouldn't say that's true.
Men are having children later than our fathers and our parents, my parents, and even your parents, and even their parents. And they're having their children when they're in their late 40s. And they cannot go on the floor. They are not nimble enough to go down on the floor and be with the children. Yet, some of them spend days and days being the nurturer of that family. But they need that flexibility to really pay themselves first. They should be flexible to go down on the floor. So this man is talking about yoga. And he said, that is something I do for myself every morning. He said to me, that is a form of paying myself first, making sure I am limber so that I can think right.
Yeah.
So paying yourself first is not making sure you have a savings account. This is not even something that should be disputed. You should have that. But self-care in a certain way is not the facial that matters. It's not the steam bath that matters. Is that you're doing it for you.
Yes.
First thing you're doing is that you're paying yourself first. What it is you do for yourself every day that you're paying yourself first. Let me see if Tanya will come and tell us because she has a fascinating take on those things.
Yeah. But it's important because especially sometimes a lot of people, they don't pay themselves first. They just pay, like your friend Colleen. She said, you said like she's taking care of family and grandchildren, and then just like that seems to be the cultural things too.
Yes.
Right?
Oh, here comes Tanya. Good morning, Tanya. So Tanya,
good morning.
You know what we're doing. We're talking about paying self first. How do you do that? Because I know you have an interesting take on that.
I do a lot of things. Mostly my life is 90% about me. So I'm always doing something to pay myself first. Because if I'm not paid first, then I can't help anyone else. I can't help my daughter. I can't talk to my mom. I can't talk to my other mom, Tessa-Marie. My mind is not in it if I'm not in myself.
So what are the practices you do in the morning that brings it out? Like every day, or do you just have it is in everything you do?
It's mostly in everything I do, but I do have practice every day. So in the morning, I don't know if anyone's ever heard about Headspace. It's an app
Yes.
that you can get on your phone. I have that. I use that every single day. So in the morning, I do the 5 breaths in the morning and I follow about 3 or 4 of their first steps.
Mhm.
And then I get ready for work. I go to work. I do their afternoon one at work if it's not exercise. And then at night, I do the same thing, the meditation again. And then I also do they have night stories there that you can play that help you sleep, get you ready for sleep. So I do that as well. Um, Also on a daily basis, I'm trying to learn Spanish. So I use this other app that's free. It's called Duolingo.
I heard
And
about that one. Yeah,
yes,
that's really
it's
good one, right?
amazing.
Yeah.
You can learn, I believe it's over 51 languages on that app. I've been doing it for a little over a year, so I know a little tiny bit
Spanish?
of Spanish. Yeah, I'm not fluent, but I'm trying, and that's pay myself first. That's something I want to do. That's something that makes me feel better. And then once I've learned it, I can speak to our patients at the clinic who are Spanish. So this is what my goal. This is what I'm trying to do.
So in
Amazing.
so
Wow.
in putting yourself in a position to learn that another language, you're also going to use that ability to serve others.
Exactly.
So although you're putting yourself first, you're serving others. You said that at the beginning. I need to ask you to I'm going to rephrase something you said. Um, you said I am trying, but you're no longer trying. You're doing.
I'm doing.
So you need to drop the trying. Once you are in the action of taking that action, we need to understand the moment you are doing what you desire, what you need to be your pilot, your knot, your dot, become a niche. The minute you're in it and practicing it, you stop trying. You're doing.
I'm doing it.
You're not at perfection state, maybe never be. You're not at the mediocre either. You are on your way. So you're doing. But so doing that, you are teaching somebody else Spanish. Because no, you're teaching yourself Spanish, you're speaking to somebody, so you're serving. You talk about taking care of yourself, so you can be able to communicate with others.
Exactly.
What advice would you give somebody who's listening to us who doesn't wrap their head around it?
Regarding this topic,
Yeah, paying yourself first.
I my advice would be if you're not good, you can't help anybody else. You can't be good for anybody else. And then I feel like too, if you're not okay and if you don't take care of yourself first, who's going to do that? Only you know what you need. Nobody else knows what you need. Only you know that. So you have to find what it is that you need and do that for yourself before you can do anything or help anybody else or do anything else in your life. That's what I believe.
I'm going to ask you, I have a question for you, but let me see what Yoko wants to ask you about this. There's another question I want to ask, but you
Hi, Yoko. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to see you, Tanya. Thank you for your time to join Self-Love
Yes,
Sunday Show.
you
Oh,
have
wait,
any,
are you wearing red? I just
I
noticed that.
am.
Ah, cool. Look at that.
so can you ask Tanya a question? Let's see what you have for Tanya. Does you have questions for me? Give Tanya one.
Okay. It's for question for Tanya,
Yeah, what question?
right?
Yeah.
Well, okay. Maybe I have one question to ask you. Like how long? I mean, when did you start changing, thinking like this is my time? I have to pay myself first. I am going to, load the app, and I'm going to have a time for my own headspace. I'm going to make my time for myself. Like how long? When did you start doing it? What? And then, yeah, when did you start doing it? How long? Like, I'm just
So
curious.
the headspace is new. I was always meditating. I just didn't really understand it or know how to
Yeah.
do it. The headspace brought it to my, so I could understand it better. That I was always doing.
Mm-hmm.
I think I started, no, I've always been paying myself first, always.
You do?
Tessa-Marie, my
even
mom,
even if you're probably like, like early 20s, and like, all
no,
throughout
I've
your
always
life.
been. That's my
Who?
personality. Tessa-Marie can attest to that. I am
uh but
I'm very me oriented. But I'm also kind and I help others and I'm generous too, but I feel like I've always felt like I cannot do anything if I don't do me.
wow,
So,
So
that's
it's
the,
always
amazing.
been
the
a part of my
question
life.
the question I have for you, Tanya, you said you're 90% paying yourself first on your taking care of yourself, putting yourself first. Tell me,
Mhm.
has anyone ever told you your behavior, your attitude, your thoughts towards that being selfish?
Yes,
And how do you respond to that?
I don't care. It's not about them, it's about me.
So you when
That
somebody tells you that you're selfish, you do not respond, or do you respond?
I tell them, you're entitled to your opinion. That doesn't make it true what you say.
but I have another question,
Yeah,
actually.
I figured
That's
you
really
would.
because, Tessa-Marie is asking great questions and Tanya is saying great answers. That kind of made me curious. So, anybody you role model who you are? Like, you gotta have somebody. You gotta have somebody, like when you grow up, somebody has to be a role model. Somebody was like, you know what? I put myself first. Or you starting developing your own. Somebody was already doing the what you are right. I mean,
It was
somebody
my
was,
mom.
yeah. Your
My
mom.
birth mother. My mom is a single parent. She
Okay.
raised two kids in the 70s when there was no welfare and there was no help and there was no aid. And I get all of my strength and power from her. Um, Whatever I am today, it's because of her. Whatever
Wow.
I've learned earlier on was
Yeah.
because of her. So I give homage to my mom. Tessa-Marie is also my other mother. I give homage to her as well. I've learned so much from her. I remember, if I can tell this story, Mother. Um,
Knock yourself out.
yes. When I was her assistant, her personal assistant for almost 2 years,
Okay.
and I had to go to um, the financial seminars with her.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember the first time I personally sat down with her and we went over my finances, and she said to me, "You spend like you're on crack." That was her comment to me.
What?
So, but she was right. She just put it in her own way. I
Tessa
did not take
Marie.
offense to
Tessa
it
Marie.
because I knew that I did. So it wasn't something that I was denying, or it was just interesting to hear somebody who thinks like me just say stuff out loud, and she did that and held me up by my bootstraps.
Yeah, but when she say that,
Hmm.
her honest, loving,
Yes,
uh, the words, kind words.
I love you, Mother. Yes.
Thanks, I
How?
know.
What did you feel first? Like, what kind of emotion it came first? Like when she,
I
the moment.
I at first I laughed, but then I realized she
Really?
wasn't joking. And then I said, "I like this lady. She's got chutzpah. She just tells it like it is. She's not sugarcoating it. She's not trying to say, okay, well, maybe you should do this because this does." No, she just came right out and said it. And I think once that happened, our relationship, because we're kind of similar, her and I do the same thing. my nanny always told me, speak out your mouth because no one else can speak for you. If people don't like it, you know, there's not really much you can say because you can't take it back and rewind it. You already said it. So, I mean, that's how it is. That's how I was raised. My mom is the same way. She's very, wow. My mom is another character in herself. She's very outspoken.
Really?
She speaks her mind. She's just, that's just her. So I get that from her. So when mother said that to me, I was like, yeah, I like this lady. Her
Well,
and I are
yeah,
good.
but you see, the thing is that that is a form of self-care, is to make you aware. Putting yourself first is to get, there's a lot of wonderful statements by these guys on that thing, but putting yourself first make you realize that that means taking care of everything that has to do with you.
Mhm.
So when I said to you, you are on crack, spending like you on crack, I literally meant it. You were like somebody that was on a journey to self-destruct sometimes in your 60s when there would be nothing left. And it was scary for
Mhm.
me. When I see that, I'm frightened. But people think paying yourself first means just saving money. It's nothing. It has
No,
absolutely very little to do with money.
no, it has nothing. Not, yeah,
Yeah,
you're
it
correct.
has
I
so
agree with you.
little to do with money. When you hear pay
Mhm.
yourself first, it's really, what do you mean? Nobody understands this. It's all of
Mhm.
you, the entire you. All of you have to eat. All of the person. I don't mean everybody. I mean you.
Yes.
You paying yourself first is that you're honoring the human being you are. The Creator put you there, honoring you, worthy. Do not take abuses. Do not let somebody tell you you're stupid. Do not say you're not worthy. Tell somebody that you didn't go to school. You're too black, you're
Mhm.
too green, you're too purple, you're too white, you're too yellow, you're too this. Your eyes are like, all of that. If you correct that, you're putting yourself first by you're saying, listen to me. I am worthy of respect. Do
Mhm.
not speak to me like that.
Mhm.
You are handling your money and you're making a mess, and somebody's saying to you, are you on crack? Literally, you have to be to do what people are doing. Because every time we go through a walk, we're leaving a trail. You are, just like you talk incessantly just now about your mom, your mom, your mom, your daughter has to be able to do the same. What were you going to live for her if I had left you there?
That's true.
You know, so paying ourselves first is a big thing. What do you think, Yuko? Come on. Let's see where we're going further with this. What?
Paying ourselves is, I grew up in Japan, and culture-wise, it takes a lot of courage to do that. But you know what? But if, but I think it's like, if somebody, like you guys said, if somebody don't, how to say it, if somebody has to have a courage to break the pattern, right? Like I saw my aunt, my uncle's wife actually. I grew up. She was I thought the for so many years, every time I go to my grandpa's house, she was taking care of everybody else but her. So I thought first couple of years, I thought she was a servant. She was a maid. But when I get a little bit older, I just like, oh no, she is my uncle's wife.
Can you
And
imagine
that
that?
she like just living like maid. And then I only saw her once. She was smiling. She didn't look happy. She was taking everybody else, right? She was making everybody else happy. And then she wasn't happy, right? So I saw it and I just like, you know what? I know that's a cultural thing, right? She's starting to live with in-laws and just she's starting taking care of everybody else. But I just like, for somehow, I kind of felt, you know what, I have to break the pattern because I have to be happy. It took a long, long time. It took a lot of courage for me to starting to practice, like, you know, the self-care. I have paid myself first acting, but I realized that if I don't do it, what I'm going to pass on next generations. If
Well,
I don't show it, if what
yeah,
I'm going to pass on next
yes,
generations, I'm not doing
because
any favor for my niece,
that's right.
right?
Right,
Yeah,
pardon
yeah,
me, that's true.
yeah.
So, but
So
that's
that's
what we fail
important.
to get, is the rope we're leaving behind.
Mm-hmm.
And some people said it's that is part of your legacy.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Legacy, you see, English is the funniest of all languages because Every word has 120 minutes. I feel sorry for people who did not start off with English to learn it and sort it out. It's kind of really difficult.
Still confusing, yeah.
It is, because when you talk about legacy, everybody thinks it's about wealth.
Yeah, it's a legacy, right?
Yeah. But look at what is happening with diabetes and high blood pressure. People are living it as a legacy. Because
that's
some
also
people
legacy
just
too.
assume because their father had high blood pressure and was diabetic, or their mother, that they're going to get it too. They see that as part of their legacy, but it doesn't have to be like this.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, so these are things we need to understand. Paying ourselves first is saying, I am worthy. Grace said we have to first conceive that we deserve to be paid first. Yes, we have to believe it. We have to put it in our head, you know, and to believe that. Because Julie said, love it. I'm so very nervous to mess up the voice, to mess up. No, you see what I mean? You have to pay. And Don said, speak like Yoda, do or do not do. You have to. These are powerful sentences that you guys are making and saying, because like the first attendants always tell, the flight attendant tell us to put the mask on ourselves first. That is, again, there you go. That is the English language. I'm doing a dance. You know, that is the thing about the English language. As a dollar language as it is, it has so many different versions in it. And each version is a dance. So put the mask on yourself, pay yourself for, doesn't mean that is how much money you put in the bank. It has self-care. Money is just at the end of everything else. Because if you did not put yourself first when you were the ages that most of you are, in your 30s to go to your 50s, and you still haven't figured it out to put yourself first, you could have all the money you want in the world. It's worthless to you.
That's so true. Yeah.
You know, so go ahead.
I have an example to give you. I don't know any celebrities per se. However, news shows us that, I mean, they're rich. They have everything. They can do whatever they want. They can buy whatever they want. But a majority of them are not happy. They are not happy. They do things for show. They do things for prestige. They do things, but they don't do it for themselves. They do it for how other people will perceive them. So I feel like when Mother is saying, you know, it's not always about money. It shouldn't always be about money, because you can have money, but you can be miserable.
Well, it shows you that. Look at what happened to Anthony Bourdain, and look at what happened to, what is his name?
Right.
What is the one that Good Morning Vietnam, whatever was his name?
Robin Williams.
Robin Williams. Look at what happened.
He committed suicide.
They both committed suicide.
And he's the
everybody
funniest.
laugh, right?
He's the funniest man in the world.
Yeah.
To him, he wasn't happy. He wasn't funny. He wasn't.
There was a trigger somewhere. It could be a
something happened.
But all of that, you know. So like what is T.S. Eliot said in Man will never stop from wandering, only to arrive at the where they started and know the place for the first time. So we go and go and go out and get these big, beautiful lives. And then when we're in it, we're not happy. So what it is it a lack of gratitude? What is it, Yuko, you think?
I think a lack of courage to show up who you are, lack of courage to speak up for yourself. I think a lack of courage to, they just like, I don't know, like for me is lack of being who you are. That's what I think.
Oh yeah, that is tying what you and both you and Tanya are saying the same thing. They're being something for other people. They cannot be something for themselves. They have to have that persona. But deep down, when the lights are done, when the lights are shut off and they're in the cupboard at night, they choose to stay in the cupboard and hang themselves or do something like that.
I feel like I feel like in those situations, again, I'm not there. I don't know them. We don't have conversations. I'm just speculating. But I feel like they don't know themselves and
Mm-hmm.
or they don't want to know themselves. They
Okay,
just
so
want to be
let
the
us go
person.
back to morning blessings. What do we do in the morning, Yoko? Why? What did we
Oh,
talk about on
morning?
Friday? What did we
I,
say about that?
morning. What do you mean? Like, what do I do in the morning
Yeah, the
first?
morning looking in the mirror and looking
Here
at
you are, right?
Oh, for
Just like
sure.
say,
You have
here
to
you
do
are. There's beautiful, or like I am looking forward to seeing you all day long, or all night, or like
yes.
greet ourselves, the mirror, with
And we
smile.
talk about it in the love session we're doing
Mm-hmm.
on that. We said,
Yeah.
how can I know you if I do not know me? I do not spend
Mhm.
the time to know me.
Mhm.
So our razzle, our dazzle, our success. But everybody wants what they have, though.
Yes, I agree.
Everybody wants to have what they want, not realizing
Mm-hmm.
where we are. We have a lot where we are.
Mhm.
But that is, you play yourself first by finding out who you are. Who are you inside of
Yeah.
that eyeball? Who are you?
Well, a lot of
Mhm.
people, they do pay attention. They say who I want to be. Oh, I
Mhm.
want to be like that person. I want to be
No,
like
no,
Angelina Jolie's, or and I
no.
want to be like maybe I
You
don't know.
can't,
It's
but they
yeah,
can't be that
yeah,
person. They can't be that
yeah.
person. They need to be themselves. They can't emulate somebody else. That shouldn't be a thought because Angelina Jolie is Angelina Jolie. She's not me.
Mm-hmm.
She's not you. She doesn't want to be someone else, even though she may have people that, she admires and so forth, but she's her.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you have to be you
yeah. That's so
because
true.
you can't be anyone else. It's
That's so true.
impossible to
Mm-hmm.
be somebody else.
Yeah,
You can
yeah,
maybe have what they have, but you're still not that person.
yeah.
So
That's so
putting
true.
yourself first, meaning you have to accept who you are. That's what you
Yeah.
guys are saying.
Yeah, and you have to know, but you have to accept it, but you have to know you too. And that's a different thing. Knowing yourself and then being who you are, those are two different things.
Can you make
Because
them? Can you put them together to create that unique human being?
you can. That's what you're essentially doing. You're doing 1 + 1 is 2, which is you.
So what is
That's
the
interesting.
process? Yuko does a lot of that. She said, I have the courage to be me, to do me. I found out I could be me. So how do you bring that to the front, Yuko? How do you bring that Yuko, that special Yuko that is unique? There's no two, like Tanya just told us. There's no two Yuko. How do you bring you, Yuko, to the Yuko that is inside and the Yuko you want to put together so that you're not trying to emulate anybody else? How do you do that?
I try to get I trying to get out of a comfort zone. I show up and then I out of comfort zone. Like,
Is
or
that a need?
I try something I'm scared of. If I feel the fear, I try. So I built the courage. I mean, I built the confidence too. Like
And
if I just try to stay comfort, and
when do
then
you
like
do
that
when
means
you do
not
that,
who
how
I
you
am.
feel? When you do that and you have put yourself where you're not familiar and you
Yeah,
push fear back and you are creating this new Yuko that you just want to for yourself. How do you
yes,
feel when you do that?
very scary. But you know what? It's new Yuko is I always after that I failed so many times, but it's not fail. I learn through from my failure.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
always 100% I can say for sure after I try, despite of fear, and I always feel good. I always feel good and always feel like I find myself. I always feel that way after that.
So when you take step and you put yourself first by trying to conquer a fear, doing
Mm-hmm.
something,
Yeah,
Mhm.
and when you're done, you feel good
I
because
feel
you
good. It's
so putting yourself first is sometimes doing this thing you're afraid of.
yeah. That's how I just starting to feel more comfortable putting myself first because it's easy for us, for maybe not maybe for some people. It's say I'm gonna do it for me. It's easy for me to put everybody else first. It's just because that's a pattern I've been doing for a long time. It's easy for me to take everybody else first about me. It's very comfortable. It's easy, right? And even if like I'm so tired at the end of the day, it's
that's
easy
right.
for me to do dishes. It's for me to do start doing laundry rather than asking my husband and my kids,
But
right?
isn't that draining for you? That
Yeah,
drains you though, right?
yeah,
If you
that
have to
drains
do that
me.
all the
But
time,
like
that's
sometimes, like,
draining.
yeah,
So
that's
when did you start realizing
Mhm.
you
so I
have
have to
to
get
put
up.
yourself? When did you start
Yeah.
that?
So I just like, you know what? This is not, I started blaming myself and my family, right? The reason I'm just so tired, maybe I'm doing something wrong and my husband, the kids are lazy, they don't do it. But actually, I realized that no, you have to be responsible your own life. You have to have a courage to speak up. So once I just like stepping out of my comfort zone, right? And just speak up. Can you help me out? I'm tired. Can I have a rest or can you do dishes? That's kind of beyond my comfort zone.
But you
That was
know,
so but I took a courage to do that.
that's
So I
great.
find myself
No, but you
who I
see,
am.
they are not brain, they are not mind readers. They have no idea
Yeah,
No,
you have to ask.
it's
that
my
they figure
fault.
you're
I
quite
know.
contented and being
Yeah.
the garbage collector, cleaning
Yeah.
the floor, doing all. Oh goodness, yeah.
It's
I didn't
it was
see.
yeah, that's so true. It's my fault. And then I didn't put myself first. It my fault, right? So I just like, you know what? It's my turn. It's my responsibility. So I gotta put myself first.
But
Means I
it
have
is
to face
true.
fear. Yeah, I have to have a courage to ask.
But
I
isn't
have
that
that.
amazing that you were able to do that and you knew when you started that on the journey? I think that's
Amen.
something to be amazing about. I had a girl a young lady that got a promotion from the receptionist into
Yep.
another department. And every time they needed somebody to relieve the reception desk, they came to her.
Are you talking about me?
No,
I had to do that too.
I know because
10 years just like, oh, it's about
so
me.
then she came to me one day and she said to me, "Can you tell them that that is not my job because they keep asking me when I was doing it, I didn't go to anybody else. I figured somebody to do it." So I said, "No, I'm not doing that for you." I
Yeah, she
said,
should do it herself.
"You have to find your way to speak up for yourself. Put yourself
Hmm.
first.
Hmm.
Yeah.
You
It
know,
takes a courage though for still a lot
it
of people.
does."
Yeah.
And I said, "No, I'm not going to talk to them about that. You are in a better position now, and
Hmm.
you have to take on responsibilities, and you have to take the responsibility of you. Go and tell them what you think." And she
Yeah.
did. She told, and they never did it again. She said, "No, this is no longer my responsibility."
Hmm.
So when I was there, she taught them, well, this is what I did when I was
Mm-hmm.
responsible for that position. So try that. And they left her alone. So, like you said, nobody can read your mind.
Hmm.
No.
You have to
No.
say what it is you desire, what you
Yeah.
prefer to have in your life.
Yeah.
And
You know
it
what?
goes
Yeah,
for
that's
all
true.
of us.
That's true. Like I sometimes I just like in my mind I just like how come he doesn't realize I'm so busy, like he should read my mind. And I just like, no, that's a silly thing.
Yeah, you have
Actually,
to.
I can speak English, right? So that's how we
Yeah.
communicate. Like, why don't I have a courage to speak up? All I need to do just like one thing to ask. Can you help me out?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can
It
you
takes courage
that's
to
a,
do that too.
oh my gosh,
It takes
yeah.
courage to do that.
It takes courage, yeah.
I'm one of those people. I want to do everything. I don't touch that. Don't move that. I want to do it.
We know.
I.
Me too.
But I had to learn, and again, I had to bring the courage out of me to ask for help, to ask
Yeah.
someone else to do that
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I could do this
Yeah.
or I could do that. I had to do the same thing that you had to do, Yuko, the same thing.
Yeah.
It's
Step by step.
hard. It's
Yep.
hard.
It's
It was
hard.
so hard for me because I'm independent. I like to do things myself, by
Me too.
myself, for myself, just myself.
So, what
So,
advice would you give to the people out there who have that problem and haven't come to where the both of you are?
advice?
Yeah, because what do you say to them? You are you certainly, one of the things is you're not
Yeah.
delegated. I am the perfect one. I can do it. I know how to do it. Let me do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
And I
No.
am basically lazy. So I rather pay you to do it than I don't want to do it. I don't like it. I'm not doing
you
it.
you're smart, Tessa. So this is a moment, everybody. I told you, right? Like, you just have a pen and no paper. This is a moment you gotta write down. So Tanya and I and Tessa, maybe Tessa might be give her advice, right? What kind of okay action you took at
Me?
Tanya?
I never. Oh
I
no,
mean,
me. I
yes,
never had
did
that problem.
for you. Okay, Tess, you never. Okay, Tanya, I wanna.
I
You can share maybe one or two things. Maybe somebody's helping. You can help somebody else.
I feel okay. So in those scenarios when I'm wanting to do everything, I am not She-Ra or Wonder Woman as much as I want to feel like I am 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That's what I want. That's what I want to feel. However, even Wonder Woman and She-Ra ask for help. They might need backup, they might need, you know what I mean? But they're still asking.
Mm-hmm.
And that courage in them helps them to do that.
So what
So
made you do that? It's you. What made you stop being I am superhuman? Because you did it when you worked with me.
I I believe that wisdom comes with age.
Is that your problem?
I believe as I've
I
gotten
I love
older,
it. I love it.
as I've
No,
gotten
very good.
older, I'm take less crap from people. I don't, if there's something I don't want to do, I'm not doing it. Now I'm at the point where my daughter is big, but even when she was little, I wouldn't ask her to do things because I thought she wouldn't do it right. She's not. And then I'm going to have to do it anyway, so I might as well just do it. But now I don't even have to ask her. She'll look at me and know, okay, you know what? I need to do that before mom says something. So she can kind of read my mind, but I started by asking for things like, Onaya, can you do this? I just came home from work. I don't want to wash dishes. I don't want to cook. I'm really tired. I don't. So I started voicing what I
Ah,
need help with.
so you starting voicing.
Yes, I
What?
started to voice or explain, or even if I have to show the person, okay, this is this. If I'm doing something else, can you please do this? I've showed you how to do this, so can you please, that type of thing. Like I've started to voice
Yes.
because you don't want to run yourself down to the point where you have no energy. You can't do anything. You
Mm-hmm.
can't even do anything for yourself. So
Mm-hmm.
my advice is find somewhere in you to speak and say, I need help. I need this. Can you do this for me? And once you do it once or twice, you'll start to get comfortable with that. And then you'll start to know that, oh, I can ask people for stuff. Oh, somebody will help me if you know what I mean? Like you don't feel like the burden is all on you. Like you always have to do everything. There are
Mm.
people that will help you, but they don't know that you need help because they see you
Yeah.
doing everything. So they're okay.
Yeah.
He doesn't
I know
need
what
it.
you mean.
That
Like,
is you
because
go. So you
I
go take it. You go. You give us your take. Tanya is just.
yeah, but
Just,
like I know it's so related to
My
Tanya. Like,
advice is, my advice is
yeah.
to find that voice. Find it, speak it, say
Okay,
it.
let
Be
you go.
done.
Let you go
Find
find
it,
her voice.
speak it, say it. Find it, speak.
Okay, you go tell us. Teach us. You go teach us.
Okay, here's advice number two. But you know what's so relevant? What Tanya said. Like, my family or people around me, they said, I thought you really enjoyed doing that. It's just like, no,
I love that.
Whatever.
no, because you always
That's a good one.
so, yeah. So that's why, like, I think it's so uncomfortable to ask a first and second time, maybe, but we have to train ourselves to speak up. We have to train ourselves to ask for help. It's uncomfortable, but if you already always have the things in here, just like, oh my gosh, I need help, but like
Say
this.
it.
Yeah, I always said you're gonna get emotionally constipated. We don't want to have constipation. I always said, oh, I don't want to get, nobody wants to be constipated, right? It's not good for health. It's not good for beauty, anything.
You'll run yourself down. You'll literally run yourself down to the point where you won't want to do anything anymore. Like you'll just give up.
Run.
You'll just be like, you know what, I'm tired.
Yourself from inside.
Exactly.
Right?
And you don't want to do that. That's not what you want to do. That's not a healthy you. That's not healthy for you, but it's also not healthy for other people too, to assume that you're doing everything because, like you said, people thought you enjoyed it.
It's just like, no, I didn't.
Somebody said, I like that. That is for you guys. Somebody said you can't pour from an empty cup.
I think it's nasty.
Well, I know you could.
I like that.
Put something else in
it. Mindfulness being, one of the things, don't apologize for who you are. Show
for sure.
Never.
Right. That's so true.
So one of the things that I know, you guys, if I do not, which is unusual, if I say, I will not say I do not, but if I prefer to do something else, I will tell you. Mm-hmm. If I prefer, I'll tell you what I prefer to do. I'll just say, somebody said, expects me to do something, I'll just say, no, I prefer not to do this. And if I am forced to do it, I will say, okay, if no one else is going to do it, and it's kind of my responsibility, I will look outside. Is there somebody that I can pay to do this?
Yes. Of course.
But that's good. That helps to create income or money for somebody else to do a job. If you ask for, that person, like cleaning, or sometimes, sometimes some people, family members, they don't mind helping. Sometimes they would rather move than sitting. Feels useless.
Well, listen to me. Yeah. I did that with my family. Nobody wanted to do any cleaning on the weekends. Everybody was easy. So I said, okay, I'm hiring a cleaning lady, and you guys are paying for 1 week each, and I'll pay for 1 week. Exactly. And that's why she's still here. Because nobody wanted to do that. Really? And I cannot work all week and come home and clean this big house and everything in it. So I said, no. I said, I come family council meeting, and 1, 2, 3, I need you to pay for her. I'll pay for the 4th week, and so we go. And it's still there to do. Of course, when they left, I had to take up the slack. But the point of it is that it was only me and my husband doing it, and these people were living in a hotel. They had a key. They came in, it was hot. In the winter, it's hot. In the summer, it's cold. And the sink is clean, the bathroom is clean, everything they wanted is clean. Then they open the fridge and they stand there. There is not a thing to eat in this house. You are a homeless person. You do not have an address.
You know what? I from your conversation, Tessa, I think it is you kind of pointed out one good idea. If you are having a hard time to speaking up your family, right, helping out, I think it's a great idea. Sometimes you're going to have a meeting with your family.
You do.
Who doesn't have family meetings?
All the time. We have family
people don't have family meetings? I didn't know that.
They don't.
We have it.
They don't.
We have it.
Really?
Yeah.
We have Zoom meetings.
Many family meetings. If there's issues, it's a family meeting.
I know, but some people, they are afraid of having, let's have a meeting. A lot of people, actually, I shouldn't say some. A lot of people, they do not have a meeting. I grew up in a house, and what is meetings? Like we just kind of, I didn't know. I grew up like my parents, had no idea of having a meetings, right? And then we don't have a meeting all the time, but when I need to speak up, the dining table is a great place.
That's
right.
We had it. Yeah. At the dining table. The point is, has to be dining Dawn says she never used to, but now she's letting others help and do it their way. That is another thing. We ask them for help and we expect them to do it the way we do it. Again, nobody is the same. They cannot do it like you.
I have a great example, so I don't want to be me.
No, no, no. Go ahead. You're supposed to
Okay,
be me,
all right.
me. That's putting
Okay,
yourself
so
first.
me,
Get
right?
cracking, woman.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna crack it. Okay, so I just like I had a moment. I just so busy. I gotta do the laundries. Okay, I gotta hang my bras, right? My yoga pants and bras. They don't go in the dryer, right? But I was so busy, and then only person I at home that time was my husband, and he was sitting, right? He was sitting on the couch. I just like, should I ask my husband to hang my bra? But I don't like, what if he just hang
Oh my God,
in the
please
bra?
do
Like,
it.
I
Do
know,
it.
what if he hang the bra the way I don't like to do it? I don't do the way.
Show him.
I just like, yeah. So I just like, that's it, Daniel. But I had a snap moment, and I just like, I don't care. I just like, I asked him. I took a courage. I went downstairs and took a courage. I like, okay, you know what? Can you hang up my laundries? Can you hang my bra? He just like, well, how do I hang the bra? And I just like, you know what? I don't care. Be creative. So 20 minutes later, it's done. My husband did the job, and I went downstairs. The way he hung the bras, I felt, I almost fainted like that. Like, oh my gosh, that's not the way it's supposed to. But I just like, zip.
When you said to be creative, that's the thing.
Yeah, I said that. So I just
When
like,
you
I
see-
didn't say anything. I just like zip, and then went to see him.
Well,
I just, thank you so much.
It's a story, but it's a true story. We were at home in the Caribbean, and we were at the house in the city, and there was clothes hanging on the line,
Yeah.
everything. And my dad I remember standing on a huge step overlooking the whole thing to this beach, and it's raining. So he said to Eric, help take the clothes off the line. So Eric went around and he pulled everything off the line. He left the ladies' underwear on the line.
Oh.
Because he didn't want to touch the unmentionables.
No, so he wouldn't touch the unmentionables. My dad looked at him and he said, you take them off because very soon you'll be pulling them off.
Oh.
Oh my God.
Just take them off.
It's like,
my God, that was
oh
so
my
funny.
God.
So he had to go in and hook all of them.
But
But the point is, he was told he had to do it. Pay yourself first. Good morning,
Yes,
Bruce.
but that's the moment. I just like, you know what? It's like I paid myself first. And then if I ask for help, I even get a help to hang my bras.
Well,
That's
you
a lot of
know,
courage, but
you have
it's
to
a
get
small
help
thing.
from them.
Everything
You have
starts
to
from
help.
the family.
yeah.
But you see,
just
when you
have
see
to-
what
you just have
paying
to say
yourself
it.
first,
Yeah.
paying
Yeah, just
yourself
say it.
first is picking up and saying, listen, I need help. Especially in a family.
Family is one of the most
Yes,
challenging
especially in a
things.
family. You have to stand up and say, listen, I need your help.
Yeah.
I have an example too.
But
I have
if
an
you don't do
example.
that, you're going to be a slave to nothing.
Right?
You know.
To yourself and to everybody else. You're going to be a slave to yourself and everybody else.
Yes, because you
don't
never be satisfied.
Yeah.
And before you know it, everybody leaves, they're gone. And if you have never cultivated relationships with people outside, and they're not there, all of a sudden you're there twiddling your thumbs and staring at the four walls and insisting that your children, aren't you coming to dinner this weekend? You want them all the time.
I have an example.
Said, I've had to allow it to be done on their time. When time doesn't matter, I'll jump up and just do it myself. Others learn if they wait for me out. If they wait me out, I'll do it. And that I truly don't think they can do it. Well, yeah, you have a point. But if it is your job to do it, I just sit back. I just don't. So I don't know, I don't seem to have a problem asking people to do things. As I said,
Of course you don't. You don't. I know you don't. Some people do though. Some people are scared. Some people aren't sure.
Yeah.
Some people think that the person's going to say no. So they don't really want to, they kind of,
well, at least you know they said no. If you hadn't, you would know.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt. But it doesn't hurt to ask. It never hurts to ask.
But
I have an example.
Go Go ahead.
So I've been working for this physiotherapy clinic for almost 7 years now. I pretty much run the place at the clinic that I work at. My manager's never there. She doesn't trust me, but she trusts me enough to, go on vacation and do whatever. And I run the place. Everyone comes to me like I'm the manager, and I'm not the manager. I don't want that responsibility. That's on her. But I have recently started saying no to her when she's been asking me to do things because it's not my job purview. It's manager things that she should be doing. So whenever I don't feel comfortable with her asking me to do something, I'm like, you know what? That's your job.
Well, I handle a situation like that a little bit differently. So when I was a financial planner at the bank, the other lady working with us, and she heard we were getting a new manager. So she said to us, well, this manager, I know her. When she comes, she has a friend. She brings that friend to work in whatever branch she works. Okay, so I filed that. Didn't mean nothing to me, but it's filed. So sure, less than 2 months in the job, all of a sudden, this friend of hers shows up to work with us. No, she's taking the position of somebody who took the files of the investments and put them together from what you did and take it to her for her to release or sign off. So one day, she came into the meeting, our staff meeting, and she said, so-and-so will not be doing that. You guys will have to put your folders away after you've done the deals and it's been released, and you have to do all of this. But all the financial advisors and financial planners were upset. But I am the person, I don't know, cannot get upset right away. I always have to take it and just think about this. What you're going to do, how are you going to manage that? Because it's not every battle you can win, and it's not the same day your mother dies that you must cry. You can cry tomorrow. So I didn't say anything to them. So I said, fine, I have to do my filing, I'll do it. So I knew what I planned. So the filing cabinet is right next to the manager's office, and it's open. Her door is open. So one of the other FAs came to me, what are you doing, Tessa-Marie? I said, I'm filing. She said, I'm not filing, and she's going on. I said, you know what? I'll tell you what. I said, if TD Bank, with all these MBAs and ZBAs and QBAs they have at the top of that ladder, they want to pay me that kind of income to file? Who am I to fight them? Filing I am doing. Because if that is the price for me, I am here, they say file, and my salary doesn't change, I am filing.
Oh, my salary changed.
So the minute I said that, the manager heard me, and I said it loud enough for her to hear. I said, if they're that stupid to pay me that type of salary, to stand there and to file files, knock yourself off. I'm not fighting with you. I get paid no matter what you give me to do. And it doesn't change. The next meeting, she came in and she said, well, you're no longer to do this, because she realized the stupidity of the thing. But I didn't fight with her. I wasn't going to let her see I was upset. You have to always plan your attack. You cannot just jump. That is why emotionally, it's so damaging when we think and we react in the moment. We need to pull back and say, okay, what can I do to get family to help? What can I do to get that manager to realize her friend can file? She's getting paid. She has a lower salary. You're taking me that you want to bring in millions of dollars and telling me to file. And you're paying me to do that. Knock yourself out. I don't care. At 4:30, I'm out of here.
No, I think differently about that. I feel
No, they hire you to work. So when you get there, that's how I looked at it.
No,
your case is different. Different. But
I understand that. I understand that. Like they hire me to work. I understand that. However, there are certain things that are not in my purview.
Well, maybe
regardless of what my salary is. It is her responsibility to do that. And unfortunately, it's up to me to tell her that it's her responsibility to do that. Because obviously
it's a different situation altogether, because she assumed that we can do both. And I'm not saying we couldn't, but the time I'm standing there filing 65, I would do maybe 40 deals in the morning, another 20 in the afternoon. The next day I'm filing 60 files. I don't care. That's taking me time to do it. But once I made that statement, I didn't talk to her. I answered what the girl said to me. I got fired. I said, you know what? I don't care what they get me to do when I come here. If they want to pay me that kind of salary to be as file clerk, then knock themselves out. I don't care. They should.
But my situation is, because I'm the go-to person for everything and my manager knows that, she tries to dip in and take advantage of certain situations.
But you have to talk to her.
Yeah, I have. That's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. When she does that, I have to check her on it, because if I don't check her, she's going to think, oh, okay, then I can ask her to do this thing now because she didn't say anything last time.
When you work for me, I didn't have to do that. Anyway, we need to finish.
Yeah.
Guys, that was amazing. So pay yourself first, being having the ability, and like Yuko said, the courage, Tanya, the determination, and me just not desiring to do this. Call somebody to do it. Tanya, I've been in similar situations. I've decided for me, I need to draw the line at doing any of the manager's tasks and not draw the line down the line. Draw the line down the line. I love that. No, but this was a fabulous live, and it was Yoko's topic, and she threw it to me. Pay yourself first, and she didn't know I was going to twist it. When I told her that, she went, oh, well, no, you know.
I know. That's why an hour and a half, the way you kind of twist was super interesting. Yeah, very much. And then you know what? The people are joining our lives, right? Our friends, like, you know, we call family, a self-care family. I'm sure they get a little bit of something from three of us too, right?
I hope so.
So that's why it's good to
Me
share.
too.
It's good to share. So I really appreciate, Tanya, you have a courage to show up on Sunday morning.
I'm here whenever you guys need me. I like being on camera. It's nice.
Is that what it is? Is that what it is?
Not too many people. They don't want to be on camera, right?
I love it. I used to model before, so I'm whatever.
Oh my gosh, that's
a whole other story. That's another story for another show.
That's another show. That's another show altogether. But you know, guys, this was a fabulous Sunday self-care show. I hope all of you who pressed the button and joined us today, enjoy being there. I hope you guys took a nugget, a black pearl, and Yuko went to the mines up north and got a diamond. She told you need a little courage and you need a little determination, and then they don't know. I finally found out, she said, that they don't know. I am exhausted. They think I'm happy running around doing all of this. That is something to realize. Oh, you're not happy? But you're happy doing everything.
Yeah, speak up for yourself. Don't be afraid. But yeah,
just speak.
Speak
just
up.
speak and ask. That's it. Yeah. It's easy. It's easy. As soon as you do it,
it's easy for you.
It's not as difficult.
It's easy for you. Yeah. Speak up, Yuko.
It's not as difficult as you think, but you can start small. You don't need to ask for big things. Maybe if you need a lot of courage, you were like me. If you were like me, I used to be. Like, you know, if you are like I used to be, start something really small. Just like, you know, can you put the laundry out of a dryer, put in a basket? The small things. Everything start small. And then just have a courage. Just build the courage.
Well, you see, and Tanya had to get older to realize she can ask for help.
You know what? It's so relevant. And then like it's like Tanya said, as we get older, we kind of build the wisdom. We kind of build the courage to ask.
Well, guys,
and then
it's amazing. I have to go. I have to go to the subway.
I love you, mother.
Love you, ladies, for coming. When I come back from the subway, I'll send you the link, Yuko. Right now, I have to run to the subway.
Okay.
I cannot. You know what? I cannot. You're gonna download the video, right? You're gonna download this self-care show.
Okay.
Yeah. You guys can have me on again if you want. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody. Yuko, I'm going to have to get in the car and get to the subway. For 11.
Okay, but I cannot download this self-care. You're gonna do it though.
Okay, bye.
All right, bye.